Welcome to the class. Today we will discuss MCQ on the types of rocks. In last class I have told types of rocks I have discussed. If you take types of rocks, mainly there are three types. Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and then metamorphic rocks. These three rocks I have discussed in the last class. I will brief all these things. What is this rock types? So first it is igneous rocks. So what is igneous rocks actually? If you take interior of the earth, there is crust, then there is mantle, then after that there is core. If you take in mantle, there is asthenosphere. Okay, in mantle there is asthenosphere. Here the lava is keeps the what we say magma. In magma keep coming like this, and this magma sometimes is coming onto the surface or within the crust. This is forming the igneous rocks. This is forming igneous rocks. So whatever this lava or whatever this magma is coming out, and it is just cooling and solidifying, then thus it is forming the rocks. They are called igneous rocks. These igneous rocks are also called primary rocks because this is first time any rock is forming from the magma, you can say. If you take igneous rocks, there are again two types igneous rocks. There are intrusive and extrusive. For example, this is surface. If you take this is at the surface, okay, lava is coming here. This is asthenosphere. Lava is coming like this. Sometimes this is asthenosphere. Asthenosphere. This is part of interior of the earth. This sometimes is coming and this lava sometimes coming and settling here, means beneath the surface. These types of rocks are called uh, intrusive rocks. Intrusive rocks. Some rocks are coming and settling just below the surface. These two are called intrusive rocks. Intrusive means below the surface. Intrusive means below the surface they are settling. They are not erupting out of the surface. There are some rocks, some lava is coming outside, and here the rocks are forming. Here the rocks are forming on the surface. These are all called extrusive rocks. Extrusive rocks. So there are two types of rocks actually within this. These are intrusive. Intrusive. These are extrusive. These in last class I have discussed. So you can watch that class for more clarity. So this is intrusive rock, this is extrusive rocks. In intrusive rocks there are settling more at more depth. Okay, these are called plutonic rocks. Plutonic rocks. And there are some rocks settling just below the surface. These are called hypabyssal rocks. Hypabyssal. Hypabyssal rocks. Hype means just under the surface. That is hypabyssal rocks. They are settling at depth, some great depth. They are called plutonic rocks. This plutonic rocks example is the granite. Granite rock. Granite rock is the example of this. And hypabyssal rock example is dolerite. And I told in the last class that actually when this magma is coming, is if it is not having more energy, it will settle at below the surface only. If it is having more energy, then only it is coming out and it is erupting out of the surface through this vent, what we call it as volcano. So these when magma is not having sufficient energy, it is settling just very at depth of the surface, this which is called as plutonic rock. So when it is cooling just under the surface very at great depths, it will cool slowly because it is under the at a very great depth. If it is coming outside the surface, that is extrusive, this will cool very fast because outside there is heat evaporation. Heat will go and it will cool very fast, but under the surface it will cool very slow. Okay, so that's there, it will form, and it will form under that crystals. When any rock, any magma is cooling very slow, it will form crystals, that too large crystals. So thus granite is a coarse grained coarse grained means it will have large crystals. That is, if you take extrusive rock, for example, a basalt is a extrusive rock. Basalt, this is a fine grained, you will not find any crystals. You take plutonic rocks, these are such as granite, these are very strong. You can use this in we are using this in granite and all in construction. That is basalt, it is fine grained, it is not that strong, it will like a glassy structure, it will break easily, you can say. So this is granite, which is a plutonic rock example, and then hypabyssal rock example, you remember dolerite. And then extrusive rocks, extrusive means they are coming outside the surface, so they are example, you can say basalt, extrusive rocks. This is a fine grained rock, basalt is a fine grained rock, if you see the ocean crust, okay, oceanic crust, okay, 99% is the basalt, 99% is a basalt. Okay, oceanic crust, what is oceanic crust? I told in previous classes, we have continent, at the same time where ocean is there we have, this is oceanic crust. Wherever continent is there, that is continental crust. Okay, if we take this is as earth, okay, this water will take, this is sea floor, whatever sea floor we call, that is oceanic crust. This is continental crust, wherever continent is there, land is there, that is continental crust. Oceanic crust, continental crust, oceanic crust, continent. This I told in the interior of the earth topic, you can refer that video. So till now what I discussed, the igneous rocks, there are two types of igneous rocks, you can say. One settling in below the surface, one settling outside the surface. Magma settling inside the surface, rocks forming such type are called intrusive rocks, whereas when magma is coming outside the surface and settling, that is called extrusive rocks, intrusive igneous rocks, extrusive igneous rocks. And if you take intrusive, again you can classify them as two types. Somewhat very depth, that is plutonic rock, example granite, and there is some just below the surface hypabyssal rocks, example dolerite. Then extrusive rocks, you can remember basalt is the extrusive rock example, that is very important example, basalt. And if you come some characteristics of the igneous rocks, there is no fossils in this. Okay, fossils will not be there, because fossils means, where when plants, animals will die, they become finally after many years under more pressure and temperature conditions, it will convert into fossils or fossil fuel, what we say, natural gas, coal, everything. These things will not be there, because if fossil is available also, it will get burnt when under that high temperature magma, so fossils will not be there. Then strata, that is layers will not be there, means if you take sedimentary rock, sediments will get deposit. For example, here sediments get deposited. Okay, sediments will come from some mountains, etc., and that it will come from mountains and it will deposit. If any plant is there, it will deposit. If any animal is there, deposit. So layer by layer it will deposit, and finally it will form some rock. Okay, these sediments will become rock finally after many years. Thus that rock is formed is called sedimentary rock. So here layers will be there in sedimentary rocks. But if you take in igneous rocks, there is no such layers. Strata means layers. Okay, no such layers will be there in igneous rocks. So no fossils will be there, no stratus will be there. These are impermeable rocks. This is important. Impermeable means water will not cannot go easily through that rock. That is, if you take sedimentary rocks, example limestone. Okay, limestone is the sedimentary rock. It will absorb water easily, so it is like porous, you can say. Okay, porous means it will allow water. Permeable, it will allow water. Impermeable, impervious means it will not allow water. So that is igneous rocks. And if you take igneous rocks are 65%. If you take earth crust, 65% is covered with the igneous rock, and sedimentary it is 8%. Okay, 7.9 approximately 8, and metamorphic is 27.4 or 27, you remember. So these numbers are important. That is numbers. And then sedimentary I already told. So from mountains etc, some sediments means broken rocks, some small the rock will be broken, and some small sand like silt, clay like particles will go, and they will settle at wherever there is some downward slopes. There it will turn into a rock over long period. It is not will happen 1 or 2 days. Over millions and millions of years, this clay, sand, animals, plants, whatever is there, that will turn into rock finally. Because in sedimentary rock some plants, animals also will come and deposit, then it will converting into fossils. So sedimentary rocks will consist of fossils, and it is settling layer by layer, so it is a strata. We say layers. Which rock will have layers means sedimentary rock. Then it is a porous means it will allow water to pass easily. Okay, for example, this it will allow water to pass through easily. That is the sedimentary rock again. Then metamorphic rock means meta means change. Okay, meta means change. Morph means a form, change in form. Okay, change in form. For example, there is any igneous rock or any sedimentary rock or any metamorphic rock itself you take. Okay, when igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic rocks, when these are undergone very high temperature and high pressure. Okay, high temperature, high pressure, it will convert into metamorphic rock. Okay, you take any, for example, granite. You take granite, it is a igneous rock. Okay, that too intrusive igneous rock. You take granite, you apply high temperature and pressure, it will convert into gneiss. Okay, gneiss we call gneiss. This is metamorphic rock. Gneiss is a metamorphic rock. Granite is a volcanic rock, or not volcanic, it is a plutonic rock, we call plutonic rock. That is intrusive igneous rock, granite. So granite is converting into gneiss under high temperature and pressure. Similarly, if carbon is there, uh, it will convert into graphite or diamond, you can say graphite or diamond. Okay, this is the metamorphic rock. This is metamorphic rock. So like this, metamorphic rock means change in form. Like when you apply high temperature, high pressure, it will just convert into metamorphic rock. So metamorphic rock also, because it is high temperature, high pressure you are applying, any fossil is there means it will get destroyed. So if you take three rocks where fossil is present, only one rock, that is sedimentary rock. Only sedimentary rock you will find the fossils. Layers also where you will find in sedimentary rock. These points are very important. This is just briefly I mentioned. Okay, I didn't go into details. Now we will do some questions. Okay. So which of the following rocks are known as primary rocks? I told primary rocks when igneous rocks, that is magma is coming and solid cooling and solidifying, it is forming igneous rocks. So primary rocks are igneous rocks are also called as primary rocks. Which of the following rocks have layered like structure? Layered means layer by layer. Okay, that is where it is in sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. Then which of the rocks are known as plutonic rocks? So I told when lava is coming, for example, this here lava is flowing. For example, this is asthenosphere. There are some rocks are settling at a very great depth. Okay, some are settling at just below the surface, which are settling at great depth. These are called as plutonic rocks. That is, these two are intrusive only. This is deep seated intrusive igneous rock, that is plutonic rocks. We call that one as a plutonic rocks. Just below the surface means hype abyssal. Hype abyssal, what is the example? Dolerite. This deep seated igneous rock, this example is granite. If it is sitting at deep seated intrusive igneous rocks, it will cool slowly, so it will form big crystals. It is also very stronger. So that is a plutonic rock. Plutonic rock means deep seated intrusive igneous rock. Then granite is example of intrusive igneous rock. That too deep seated. Then slate is example of metamorphic rock. Slate is example of metamorphic rock. For example, shale is there, okay, or clay is there, it will be converting into slate. Okay. Shale clay is a sedimentary rock. I discussed in rock topic all these things. Slate is a metamorphic rock. For example, you conversion, you take this is metamorphic. So there is granite, which is igneous rock, it will converting into gneiss. Gneiss is a metamorphic rock. And I told shale clay is there means it will convert into slate. Okay, shale also will convert into schist. We call schist. Schist is also metamorphic rock. Okay, then sandstone is there. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock. Sandstone will convert into quartzite. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock. Sand is there and it is becoming the stone. Like that, you remember sandstone. And here clay means very small particles. Okay, this is getting converted into slate. Slate is a metamorphic rock. Schist also metamorphic rock. Then limestone is there. Limestone is a sedimentary rock. Limestone, if you see the limestone, if you break it, it will become like powder. Okay, so limestone means all it is accumulated, means layer by layer, you can say. It is a sedimentary rock. So limestone, if you apply temperature and pressure, it will metamorphose into marble. A beautiful marble will come. Okay, you give limestone huge temperature and huge pressure, and over a great period, it will turn into the marble. So whatever marble you are using now, it is a metamorphic rock, and this metamorphic rock has come from limestone. So slate is example of metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock. Then in which type of rocks fossils are typically found? Fossils are found in sedimentary rock. I told in igneous rock it will not be fossils. If it is there also, it will go. Even simply metamorphic rock also, because huge temperature pressure is applying on these rocks, it will fossils, if it is there means it will go. Then which elements are found mostly in the lithosphere? Lithosphere means you can put silicon and aluminum in lithosphere. Actually, we find, if you take earth, this is earth, and I will take ocean also. Okay, this is also earth, you can take. So this is the continent. Okay, this is continent, and this is ocean. Okay, this is ocean. This is ocean floor. This is water ocean. This is ocean floor. So this whatever this continent is there, that is what we call continental crust. Continental crust. Okay, this is a oceanic crust. Oceanic crust. This continental crust is made of silicon, aluminum, and oceanic crust is made of sima. Okay, but it is asking entire lithosphere. Okay, lithosphere means actually there is a crust, mantle, core. Okay, you take crust, and in mantle there is upper part which is solid part. Okay, this upper solid mantle, okay, plus this crust is together is called lithosphere. Lithosphere means hard part of the earth. If you take interior of the earth, there is hard part of the earth, that is the lithosphere. So this lithosphere made up of silicon and aluminum. That is the correct option. Which among the following is formed by the process of lithification? Lithification means, I told, when from mountain these sediments are coming, this layer by layer will first sediments will get deposited, and over a period it will undergo and becoming the rock. That is what lithification means, conversion to becoming of rock. Okay, lith means stone. Lith means stone or rock. Lithification, this conversion into the rock. So where it will happen? It will happen in the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. So granite is a igneous rock. It is not the option. Basalt also igneous rock. Okay. Then marble is metamorphic rock. So feldspar is the option. So feldspar is the sedimentary rock. So it will undergo lithification. And which among the following is not true regarding igneous rocks? They are formed inside earth under great pressure. No, they are not forming under great pressure. They are forming from the lava or magma. So this is the option, you can say. This is the option, because here not true. They said not true. So they don't occur in layers. This is correct actually. They don't occur in layers. They don't contain fossils, because fossils will go. They're mostly crystalline in nature, because it will, for example, if you take some igneous rocks, at least intrusive igneous rocks, they are forming big crystals, because it will take, they are cooling slowly. So in the process, they make big crystals. Big crystals mean big particle kind of thing. So they are also called primary rocks. Yes, igneous rocks are also called as primary rocks. Which among the following is called a right combination? So marble is a metamorphic rock, correct. Basalt is a intrusive. No, it is not intrusive. It is extrusive. Slate is a extrusive igneous rock. No, it is a metamorphic rock. Gabbro hype abyssal rock. No. So gabbro is the plutonic rock. Gabbro. Okay. Similar to granite. Okay. Granite also plutonic rock. Okay. At depth. Within the below the surface, but at great depth. So that is granite is also there. Okay. Even gabbro is also there. And you can remember diorite also. Okay. And then pegmatite. Okay, these four you remember, plutonic rocks. Plutonic rocks means these four you remember. Okay, gabbro, granite, diorite, and then pegmatite. That you remember. What is the correct decreasing order? Decreasing order of the size of different soil, size of the sand, gravels. Okay, first gravel is the big one, then sand, silt, then clay. Gravel means big size stone, you can say. Then sand, somewhat little. Then silt, still very decrease in size. Clay is very decrease. Then gypsum, chalkstone, limestone are examples of sedimentary rocks. So limestone is a sedimentary rock. Even chalk is also pure limestone. You can say 100% calcium carbonate, CaCO3. And similarly, gypsum also is a sedimentary rock. Then shale is an example of sedimentary rock. Shale is also example of sedimentary rock. So sedimentary rocks, you can remember sedimentary rocks examples. You can remember sandstone. Okay, sandstone. Then mudstone, sandstone, mudstone. Then shale, you remember sandstone, shale. Then conglomerate, then breccia. Okay, conglomerate means pebble size or coming very big size grains, round rocks. Breccia means this also pebble size but angular size. They are not round. Conglomerate, breccia. These two are also sedimentary rocks. Then shale, then mudstone, sandstone. Then fossils I told. So fossils means what examples will come? Coal will come. Coal also you can find here. Coal is also sedimentary rock. Coal is also sedimentary rock. So shale is example of sedimentary rock. Shale is example of sedimentary. Shale will become slate. Slate is a metamorphic. So if you apply temperature pressure to the shale, it will become slate. It will become slate or schist. We get schist, schist. Then which among the following defines pyroclastics? Pyro means fire. Clast means rock fragment, means some small fragment. This pyroclastic is also known as tephra. So these are pyroclastics means rocks composed solely of volcanic materials. Solely of volcanic. That is pyroclastic. Clast means you remember rock fragment. Pyro fire. From fire some rock fragments are coming. So volcanic materials. Next, which among the following is formed by recrystallization of silica found in sandstone? Nothing. It is nothing but sandstone is metamorphosed into. You apply temperature, you apply pressure, then it will metamorphose into quartzite. Quartzite is a metamorphic rock. So quartzite is the option. Quartzite is the option. So gneiss is coming from granite, I told. Gneiss is coming from granite. And then marble coming from limestone. Granite is igneous rock. That too at depth it is forming. Limestone is sedimentary rock. Limestone is sedimentary rock. Then which of the following is present in large amount in terms of percent by mass in the earth crust? Earth crust percent by mass. Which one is oxygen? Oxygen first, oxygen, then silicon, then aluminum, then iron. This is the order you remember in earth crust. Oxygen is the most present. In oxides it will be. Which among the following is a tectonic wetland? So Nilnag in Jammu Kashmir is the tectonic wetland. It is a fact. Some tectonic wetlands are there. For example, Bhimtal. Okay. Bhimtal in Uttarakhand. Okay. This is also tectonic. The forming because of tectonic feature. Which among the following is also most abundant fine-grained extrusive rock? I told if you take this when volcano is coming and outside it is forming on the surface. Okay, this example I told basalt rock. This is extrusive igneous rock, basalt rock. This is fine-grained. This is fine-grained, and if it is settling at a great depth, it will form big crystals. It will form big crystals. This is a coarse grained. Coarse means very big crystal. Okay, fine grain means it will be very small sand like, very clay like you can say. Coarse grain means some big sized particles. So fine basalt, fine extrusive igneous rock. Intrusive igneous rock form big crystals because it will slowly it will cool, but extrusive it will cool very fast, so it will form big fine grained particles. So here that is the question asked. Fine grained extrusive rock. Okay, that is a basalt. This is abundant. If you see oceanic crust, 99% is the covered by the basalt. Oceanic crust 99% is covered by the basalt. Then feldspar I told. Feldspar is the sedimentary rock. Granite is the igneous rock. That is intrusive igneous rock, not extrusive at all. Then quartzite is the metamorphic rock. Quartzite coming from sandstone. Sandstone metamorphosed into quartzite. Sandstone metamorphosed into quartzite. Next, which among the following is the collective term for all volcanic matter? Whatever volcanic materials are coming, that is tephra. That is called tephra. Okay, this is also pyroclastic. This is also pyroclastic. Next, which among the following is the not correct sequence? Okay, not correct. Limestone marble is correct. Sandstone, quartzite, correct. Because sandstone, if you apply temperature press, sandstone is sedimentary. Quartzite is metamorphic. Talc also soapstone. From talc, soapstone will come. Okay, from talc, soapstone will come. Then graphite slate. This is wrong. Okay, slate is coming from where? Shale or clay. Okay, shale or clay is becoming slate. Okay, if you apply temperature and pressure, it is becoming slate. These rocks, igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic rock, these keep converting from one type of rock to another type of rock. These keep converting from one type of rock to another type of rock. So that is what is called rock cycle. So for example, here shale, you take shale or clay. This is sedimentary rock. Shale or clay is a sedimentary rock. This is getting converted into metamorphic rock, into that is slate. So in geographical context, which of the following is known as host? Okay, so there is one concept, actually there is a faulting. Okay, faulting. For example, one surface is there, this surface is get faulted here. For example, okay, this is one surface, this surface is faulted here. Okay, then here what happens? Fault means here break has come, here break has come. Okay, you apply here break, here break. Okay, so then what happens here, actually this is a lithosphere, okay, say this is a hard part of the layer. Then here asthenosphere is there. Asthenosphere is where magma is keep coming. Okay, magma is coming. Then this part, whatever broken part will keep moving down. For example, when this is coming here like this magma, this will hit the rock and it will pull here, breaks it will make, and this rock will be pulling like this rock will be pulling like this. So this is this layer will, and this will come down. Okay, this will come down. So like this here, if you stand here and see, this will look as a mountain. Okay, these are actually, these up elevated part are called host is elevated part, and this is from valley. Okay, these lower parts are called graben. Graben, graben. Okay, nothing. So this rock is there, sorry, this layer is there. Okay, some part will go down like this block will keep sinking down. Okay, here magma is rising. Okay, here magma is rising. So this is a, we call host, HORST. This is we call graben. Okay, it has other names. This host is called a block mountain. MTN means mountain, and this graben is called a valley. Okay, or rift valley. Rift valley, valley or rift valley. For example, you take if you take Madhya Pradesh and all, there is Vindhya, there is Satpura. Okay, these are mountains. Okay, these are high elevated parts, mountains. Mountain means you can say Vindhya, Satpura or hills. Okay, these are elevated parts, means they are host, HORST, host, and in between there is one river is flowing. Okay, this is a valley. Okay, this is a rift valley. Okay, and this Vindhya, this Satpura are called block mountains. Block mountains. Block mountains. So here host means what? Raised fault block mountain. Raised fault block mountain. Okay, this is the option. Next, crystal formation can be found more commonly. Okay, crystal formation where igneous rocks. Okay, igneous rocks. So into here again also a subtype. Extrusive, they cool very fast. So no crystals. Intrusive, they cool very slow. So crystals will be there. Which of the following is correct order of elements minerals found in the earth crust? Okay, this I already told. Oxygen, silicon, aluminum, iron. And graben, I told it is a valley. Okay, graben is the valley. Fault block mountain, wrong. Fold mountain, wrong. Volcanic mountain, wrong. Okay, this option you put a rift valley. Rift valley. Then fossils are likely to be found. Fossils are found where in sedimentary rocks. Fossils are found in sedimentary rocks because these sediments may contain plants also. Okay, died plants, killed animals. They will keep depositing, and these plants, animals, over millions of years convert into fossils. So fossils were available only in sedimentary rocks, you can say. So here conglomerate is the sedimentary rock. So this will be the option. Marble is metamorphic rock. Granite is igneous rock. Igneous is again metamorphic rock. So metamorphic rock means marble comes from limestone. Okay, granite is igneous rock. From granite comes gneiss, which is a metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock. Next, the place of origin of fault within the earth surface of an earthquake is earthquake where it is starting. I told focus in last class. I told, so if you take this is earth, wherever earthquake starts, this is the focus. This is focus, or this is also called a hypocenter. Focus or hypocenter. Just vertically above the earth, we see this is in middle of between the earth, inside the earth. If you take on the surface vertically above, this point is called epicenter. Epicenter. Okay, rocks capable of holding large amount of water are called aquifers. Aquifers, we know where these are the rocks. Aqui means water, fer means bearing, rock, water bearing. So aquifer means water bearing rocks. Aquitard means it will slow the water. Aquiclude means it will block the water. Arroyo means it is a temporary stream. For example, when rain is coming, then only this stream will flow. That is a arroyo. Sandstone is which of the following rocks? It is a sedimentary rock, I told. Marble comes under which category of rocks? This is a metamorphic, comes from limestone. So metamorphic. Which among the following are three major classification of rocks? Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. From which of the following pumice is derived? Pumice is a volcanic rock. Pumice is a volcanic rock. So there is igneous rock. Actually, this igneous rocks is two type. Okay, one below surface. Below surface, here one is there, here one is there. This is, and on surface one is there. So this is a plutonic rock at a great depth. Plutonic rock. This is hypabyssal rock. And on surface, this is what is called as extrusive. Okay, these two are intrusive. This is extrusive, and this is also called as volcanic rock. So volcanic rock means that is forming onto the surface. So pumice is example of the volcanic rock. That is, I told basalt. So for this extrusive rocks examples you add in your list. Basalt is the one very important basalt. Just a minute. Basalt is very important. Then you add andesite. Then you add pumice. Then you add rhyolite. So these are all extrusive rocks, extrusive igneous rocks. And hypabyssal I told, dolerite, you remember, dolerite, and plutonic at great depth, granite, and then gabbro, then pegmatite, then diorite. So these are the things. This is very important classification. Then extrusive, intrusive rocks. These are igneous rocks. Which of the following is true regarding secondary waves? This travel through the solid parts of the earth only. Okay, this is correct. Secondary waves, I remember. Yeah, I told. Remember, yes. Next, in which type of rocks are metals like gold and copper mostly found? In old igneous rocks only you will find diamond and copper, because here gold often found in quartz veins associated with granite or volcanic rocks. Which of the following parent rocks is not responsible for karst topography? Karst topography. This we will see in landforms. Karst topography is forming at areas where limestone, okay, dolerite. Okay, dolerite means also type of limestone. Okay, gypsum. Okay, when these things are present, there you will find the karst topography. Okay, this karst topography is formed by the groundwater agent. What is the agent here? Driving agent, groundwater. Groundwater will influence these limestone, dolerite and gypsum landform and form the landform karst topography. We call it as karst topography. So granite is not responsible for the karst topography. Scientific study of rocks, petrology. Okay, paleo means old things. Studying paleo means old. Okay, numismatics means all that coin and all. Mineralogy, minerals. What is major factor in determining properties of the rock? Silica is the major factor in determining the properties of the rock. For example, based on silica, we decided acidic rocks, basic rocks, acidic rocks, basic rocks. Then acidic rocks are acidic rocks having high silica. Basic rocks having low silica. Acidic rocks example you remember, KGF you remember, okay, KGF. Okay, K means you remember quartz, G means granite, F means feldspar. Okay, these are the examples. So based on silica you can divide this one. Okay, acidic rocks are high in silica. Okay, high in silica, so they are less dense. Basic rocks low in silica, they are dense. Okay, density is they are very heavy elements, they are very heavy. And if it is dense also, it is a dark color also, dark colored. And acidic rocks are light colored. So which rocks are formed from the cooling and solidification of magma? Igneous rocks. Which rocks comprise almost 65%? Igneous rocks. Sedimentary rocks. So igneous that much. Sedimentary 7.9, approximately 8%. Then metamorphic rocks 27%. So this is 65. Sedimentary are 7.9, 8. Metamorphic 27%. Which type of igneous rock forms the majority of the ocean crust? Ocean crust I told basalt. Okay, that is continental crust means granite. Majority. How much percentage of the earth crust is volume? By volume is composed by the sedimentary rocks. I told 7.9, that is 8. If you take the surface, okay, that is 75% is covered by the sedimentary rock. So if you see the entire on the earth, you can see on the surface, okay, it is very thin actually. Okay, if you take this is surface, on very thin sheet is there, very thin sheet, sedimentary rock. Okay, that is covering 73% of this land. But this is so thin, it is giving us only 8% by the volume. Okay, over the surface it is like very thin sheet you can say. Okay, it is giving very only 8% volume, whereas igneous giving 65% by volume and metamorphic 27. So which among the following rock is associated with the term change in form? Metamorphic. Okay, meta means change, meta means change, morph means form, change in form. When you applying temperature pressure, that is okay, you take any rock, igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, and you apply temperature pressure, then it is converting into metamorphic rock. And how much percentage of the volume of the earth crust is composed of metamorphic rocks? 27. Okay, exact value 27.4. Which among the following is not an igneous rock? Granite is igneous rock at depth. Limestone is a sedimentary. So this is the option. So diorite I told this is also at bottom. This is also igneous. And even gabbro also igneous. So at depth, these are plutonic rocks. Okay, plutonic rocks. So which among the following rocks is metamorphic rock? Metamorphic rock. So granite, it is igneous rock. Quartzite, yes. Andesite, it is extrusive igneous rock. So this is not the option. Rhyolite, extrusive igneous rock. So this is the option. Sorry, given rhyolite is extrusive igneous rock, high in silica. It is a fine grained. Okay, it is coming outside, so it is cooling very fast. Extrusive means it is coming outside, no. Intrusive means it is staying inside the surface. Inside surface means it will slow cool. It will cool slowly. Then it will form big crystals. It will be coarse grained. Coarse means big grains will be there in the rock. What is the change in the particle size of the rock during the process of metamorphism? This is what we call recrystallization. Means some crystals they will change their form when you apply high temperature, high pressure. When you apply high temperature and high pressure, there is some recrystallization, orientation is happening in the particles of the rock. That is recrystallization we call. High temperature, high pressure, there is recrystallization happening. What is the process of repetitive layering? Foliation. Foliation means layering. Repetitive layering in metamorphic rocks. Process of metamorphic rocks. That is foliation. Which branch of geology studies rock formations called layers? So strata means I told layer. Okay, studying of that layers. Strata means layers. Molten rock material is magma. If you take this is earth. Okay, this is asthenosphere. Okay, here magma is rising like this. When this magma is coming and hitting the earth and it is okay, the moment it is coming the surface, here it is called lava and below the surface it is called magma. Which among the following statement about igneous rocks is not correct? Igneous rocks cooled deep inside the earth are called intrusive igneous rocks. Correct. Igneous rocks in which the magma flows out, cools on the earth's surface are called extrusive rocks. Correct. Intrusive rocks have small crystals. Actually, they will have big crystals. Okay, they will not have small crystals. Basalt is an example of extrusive igneous rocks. Okay, this is also correct. So this is only, it will not the small, it will have large crystals, larger big crystals. Which among the following rocks are at great depth? Okay, I repeated many times till now. It is a plutonic rock. What are the examples? Granite, gabbro, pegmatite, diorite. Next, which among the following characteristics of igneous rocks is not correct? They have high porosity? No, not at all porosity. It is in sedimentary rock. Do not contain fossil? Correct. They are hard? Yes. Impervious. Impervious means they will not permit anything, even water. Correct. They are generally high resistance to erosion. Yes, erosion is very tough because they are very hard and they are not allowing water to go. Okay, they are not porous also. Porous means if you take this rock, porous means some gaps will be there in between, you can say. Okay, when water it will absorb the water. That is porous. Impervious means no permission. They will not allow anything. So they are generally resistant. Which among the following rock is called aqueous rock? Aqueous rock is called sedimentary rock. Okay, is also having stratify rocks like stratification layers will having. It is also called aqueous rocks and it is also called detritus. Okay, because all that killed plants, animals, everything coming under settling or sedimenting, they're converting through process lithification. Okay, through lithification process, they converting into sedimentary rock over millions of years. Which among the following statement is correct about igneous rocks? Volcanic rocks means extrusive. These are extrusive. These are extrusive means above the surface. Extrusive volcanic rocks are the igneous rocks formed on the surface of the earth. This is correct. Plutonic rocks are the igneous rocks formed at intermediate depth. This is wrong. At great depth. Hypabyssal rocks are igneous rocks formed at deep below. No. So these two are interchanged. Okay. This should be this one. This should be this one. Plutonic at greater depth. Hypabyssal just below the surface. And pumice is an example of intrusive rock. Wrong. Pumice is example of extrusive rock. Okay. Pumice is example of extrusive rock. Next, what is the process by which original composition of rocks are changed due to the movement of hydrothermal fluids through rocks under this? You remember, high temperature, high pressure. When you apply that, it will recrystallization will happen and it will turn into metamorphic rock. Which among the following is not an intrusive igneous rocks? Basalt. Basalt is extrusive igneous rock. Extrusive igneous rock. What are the other extrusive igneous rock? Pumice. Okay, then andesite, then rhyolite. So pegmatite, I told it is intrusive. Okay, intrusive means coarse grain because large crystals. Okay, similar to granite. Okay, which is rich in quartz feldspar. Next, what is the process of successive deposition and formation of sedimentary rocks is called? This is lithification, converting into rock, lithification. Which among the following is not mechanically formed? Not mechanically. Mechanically means grain by grain coming, okay, by motion. They are coming and depositing one by one, particle by particle, and through process of lithification, it is converting. Okay. Not a sedimentary rock. Here conglomerate I told, okay, pebble size rocks are coming. Sandstone, sand particles, you can say. Sand sized particles are coming. Then shale also, clay. Here in shale, clay is coming and settling. So only coal is not the correct option. So it is not mechanically formed. It is biological, organically formed. Organically. When plant or animal gets killed, here coal means especially plants. Okay, petroleum, natural gas, all that animals. Which metamorphism happens without any appreciable chemical change? Chemical change should not happen. That will happen only in thermal metamorphism. Thermal, only heat will be applying and chemical change will not be changing that much. Not a foliated metamorphic rock. Okay, this you remember, foliated examples. So foliated means you can break like some slates kind of thing. Okay, that example you remember, schist, slate. Okay, gneiss, phyllite, meloite. Okay, SHGPM you remember, SHGPM. Okay, schist, slate or schist, gneiss, phyllite, mylonite. Then non-foliated means you cannot break this into the sheets. That is quartzite, very important, coming from sandstone. Then hornfels, coming from shale or clay. From shale clay also metamorphic rocks, slate will come. Then schist will come. Okay. From shale slate, the hornfels are coming. Then marble, which is coming from limestone or dolomite. Dolomite also type of limestone. Then soapstone is also coming from talc rich. Okay, so quartzite is the non-foliated, hornfels non-foliated, soapstone non-foliated, marble also non-foliated. You cannot, for example, you take marble, you cannot make into sheets. You cannot break this into the sheets. that is non-foliated. So here non-foliated metamorphic rock, it is asking non-foliated metamorphic rock. So quartzite is the answer. This is the non-foliated. Next, which among the following statements about igneous rocks is correctly matched? Okay, felsic mafic, I told this in last class. You can refer that video. Light colored rocks that are rich in aluminum light elements, correct. Where mafic means magnesium, iron will be there. Okay, these are dark colored, rich in iron. Okay, iron, magnesium. So both are correct only. Which among the following is not an example of acidic rock? Okay, acidic rock, you remember KGF I told. Okay, quartzite. Then okay, quartzite, then granite, then feldspar. Okay, so basalt is the basic rock. Basalt, what is basalt? Basic rock. Basalt is the basic rock. Basic rock means poor in silica. Okay, light colored. Okay, lighter weight. Denser weight. Silica opposite. Okay, poor in silica means dense. Next, what is the process of arrangement of minerals in an alternate thin and thick layers is called alternate thin and thick layers. There is thin layer, thick layer. Okay, this is banding. What we call banding. Next, which rock is formed from limestone? Which rock is formed from limestone under heat and pressure? When heat pressure you are applying, marble is coming from limestone. Okay, this is metamorphic. Limestone is the sedimentary. This is metamorphic. Who proposed the continental drift theory? This is a famous question. Alfred Wegener. When? 1912. Who is he? He is German meteorologist. Meteorologist means who study the climate. Next, what is the theory combining the continental drift and seafloor? That is plate tectonics. At which boundaries do the plates move away from each other? Okay, this we will study later actually. Away means diverge. Diverge means going away. They are going away. Okay, actually I told there is lithosphere, and this lithosphere is not single plate. Okay, this lithosphere is having many plates. Okay, when plates are moving this direction, okay, means here lava, this magma is pulling this plate in this direction, and this lava, this plate in this direction. So this is what divergence we call. Divergence. This plate is going like this plate is going like this. Okay, that is divergence. Convergence means here, for example, here also lava is there. This lava is coming like this lava is coming like this. So here one plate is coming like this. So these two are converging. Converging means coming together, coming each other towards each other. Divergent means going away. Okay, transform means just to slide past each other. For example, here one thing is there. Okay, here one thing is there. They are not coming like this or not going like this. Okay, this is not happening. They are just sliding each other. Okay, just like this. Okay, one is going front like that. Okay, like this second put. Okay, means this plate went like this. This is just pausing. Okay, though lava is coming like this. Okay, or magma. We should not call lava. It is magma. When it is inside, it is called magma. Only when it is reaches to the surface, it is called the lava. It is called lava. Next, earthquake waves. I already told earthquake waves in last class. There are body waves. Okay, two types are there. Body waves. Okay, these are two types. Primary waves, S waves, and then there are surface waves. These again two, L or love waves, Rayleigh waves. Love waves, Rayleigh waves. Body waves means they go inside the earth only. Surface, they will not come. They will not. They will not come onto the surface, and they just reach like epicenter, and that's all. Then surface waves will start. So, These surface waves will not go inside the earth, okay, like that. So love waves, Rayleigh waves. So primary waves we call, these are primary waves. These are secondary waves. Okay, primary waves why we call, these are the fastest waves, and these are the first to reach the surface. So that's why we call them as primary waves, and these will flow in all medium. Okay, whereas in secondary waves are flowing only in solid. And primary waves, these are all called longitudinal waves. Okay, and whereas solid waves are called as transverse waves. Transverse waves. And the primary waves are similar to sound waves. Sound waves. They will push pull. They will push pull activity. They will do. Means they will just push and then pull like that. Okay, push pull like that. They will go. That is longitudinal. That is how sound waves also will go. That is longitudinal. Whereas transverse waves means here wave is going like that. Okay, wave is going like that, but the particles are moving up and down. Okay, like that. Okay, these are transverse waves. Okay, for example, secondary waves move up and down, up and down. Okay, whereas primary waves push pull. Okay, expand contract. That is push pull action. That is primary waves. We call them as longitudinal waves. Whereas love waves are called transverse waves. Rayleigh waves are called longitudinal waves. Longitudinal waves. So if we come to the question, what are the primary waves also called as? Primary waves are also called push waves. Okay, push pull, like that they will go. And what is the point on the fault where seismics was released or called? Okay, seismic waves released. That is a hypocenter. This is the where the point where the fault, the earthquake gets in release, and then it will come in. Which of these foliated metamorphic rock? Foliated metamorphic rock. Which of these is the foliated metamorphic rock? So this is the slate. Okay, slate. If your slate will come, here is a layer by layer. You can sheets. You can break it into sheets. Whereas marble you cannot break. Quartzite you cannot break. Even horn fells. This also you cannot break. Even horn fell. Hornfell. This is coming from shale or clay. Which of the following is intrusive igneous rock? Okay, this intrusive granite, correct. Basalt, no. Rhyolite, this is also. These three are extrusive. This is intrusive. So which of the following is a body wave? Okay, body waves are primary waves and then secondary waves. Two types of surface waves. Love waves, correct. Rayleigh waves, correct. For this is the option. Which seismic wave moves material in circular motion? This is in circular motion. It is Rayleigh wave. Rayleigh wave. Rayleigh wave. This is a surface wave. Scientific study of earthquake. Seismology. Seismic means earthquake. Seismology. The process of transformation of one type of rock into another. Rock cycle. Non-foliated metamorphic rock. Okay. Non-foliated. This is the marble. Marble is non-foliated. Marble. Okay, which are other non-foliated? Quartzite. Okay, marble. Okay, quartzite, marble. This you can remember. What are the sequence of earthquakes? Sequences of earthquakes. Okay, specific area, short period. Okay, there are some short vibrations will come. Earthquake that we call earthquake swarms. Okay, earthquake swarms repeatedly will come. What are the small earthquakes which precede means foreshocks? Precede means it will come before the earthquake. These are foreshocks. Amount of energy released at the source. At the source means at the focus or hypocenter. What is the energy released? This is given by Richter scale. That is given by Richter scale. Whereas Mercalli scale gives the intensity. whereas Richter scale gives the magnitude. Okay, intensity means what is the damage caused. Okay, for example, we say this many buildings collapsed, this many trees gone, like that. That is intensity. That is damage. How much loss caused. Magnitude means at inside focus, how much it is magnitude has come. Which among the following is correct? The Richter scale measures the intensity. Wrong. That is Mercalli scale. Mercalli scale measures the magnitude. Wrong. These two are given reverse. So neither one nor two. When which instrument earthquake waves are recorded? This is seismograph. Seismograph. Barometer means pressure. Ammeter means current. Anemometer means wind. Line connecting all points on the surface where the intensity is the same. Intensity iso seismic. Iso means same. Seismic same intensity. Which among the following is not a cause of earthquake? Tsunami will not cause earthquake. Okay, remaining all cause earthquake. Plate tectonics, volcanic activity, faulting. Which earthquake also called crustal earthquake? Crustal or shallow earthquake. Shallow means what? Not a deep. Okay, this you will understand later in later classes. You just remember crustal earthquake, shallow earthquake, not very deep. They are shallow, not very deep. Which scale takes into account visible damage? Okay, what is the damage given by Mercalli scale? Okay, in damage M remember. Which among the following is not characteristics of primary waves? They are similar to sound waves, correct? They are transverse waves. No, they are longitudinal. Longitudinal waves. They travel through all medium. Yes, solid, liquid, gas. They travel through all. They are first to reach the surface. That's why they are called primary waves. Which waves produce entirely horizontal motion? L waves. Rayleigh waves produce circular motion. Which earthquake wave move with push pull? Push pull primary. What is the point on the earth surface directly above the focus? Epicenter. Underground thunderstorms. Earthquakes are called underground thunderstorms. It is given by Pliny the Elder. This is some miscellaneous question. Stratovolcano is called composite volcano. This we will see in volcano topic. What is the narrow opening of the volcano? Vent. Okay, means for example, if you take this is earth, this is magma. Okay, this is coming like this, and there is small vent will happen. Okay, through this magma will come. Okay, here small hole will be there. This is what vent opening. What is the upper cup or saucer shaped depression? Okay, that is what a crater. Crater means some, for example, there is volcano. Okay, like this will volcano form. Okay, like this it will come. Sometimes what will happen? This entire area will be gone. Okay, then how it will? It will form like this shape, saucer cup shape. Okay, here depth will be there. Okay, here that is craters will come. If this shape is very huge, okay, for example, this is very big, for example, this is what we call, this is small one means crater, big one means caldera we call. Means what happens sometimes when this volcanic material from that is magma is coming, sometimes magma will be finishing. This magma has to come and settle here actually. But when sometimes it will finish, then what will happen? This settled magma will collapse into this here. Okay, then here saucer some depth, the depression will happen. That is what caldera. Okay, here this caldera volcano example Saint Helens. Okay, Saint Helens, USA. This is a big caldera volcano. Which of the following is an example of extrusive igneous rock? Extrusive granite? No. Diorite? No. Gabbro? No. Basalt? Yes. Here diorite I given. It is a coarse grained intrusive rock. So it is a coarse grained. It is also called salt and pepper appearance. Okay, known for hardness density, it is found in association with granite. Responsible for the which of the following process is responsible for the sedimentary rock? This is for lithification. Lithification. So that's all. These are mostly some facts you have to remember. What are igneous rocks? What are intrusive igneous rocks? What are extrusive igneous rocks? Then what are plutonic rocks? What are hypabyssal rocks? And then what are the features of igneous rocks? Okay, for example, if you take igneous rocks, sedimentary, then metamorphic rocks. Sedimentary main you have to remember there are fossils in this, and there are layers also, layer by layer. That is we call strata. Okay, and it is a porous, okay, permeable, means water etc. It can go through. Okay, porous and permeable, and they cover only 7.9% by volume. But if you take surface, they cover 70, almost 75%. Okay, 73 or 75, remember. Okay, okay, these are sedimentary. You can find fossils here. You can find layers here. These are porous. These are permeable. They are 7.9 only, but they cover most of the earth. Okay, surface 75%. These points you remember, and examples you remember. Okay. Examples, for example, sandstone. Okay, sandstone. Uh, then sandstone. Then mudstone. Okay. Then sandstone, mudstone. Then coal. Then shale. Okay, coal, shale. Then limestone. Okay, it's a type dolomite, okay, gypsum. Okay, even chalk. Okay, sandstone, mudstone. These are all things. These are all things are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. And then igneous, I told no fossils will be there, no layers. These are not porous, not permeable. Here 65% they are covered. Maximum this one. 65% are covered then. Okay. And then types you remember. Okay. If you take this is the surface. Okay. This is where magma is coming. It is settling at great depth. They are called plutonic rocks. If settling below the surface, just they are called hypabyssal rocks. If they are settling at the surface, then they are called extrusive or volcanic rocks. Okay, volcanic rocks. For this, examples is important. For this granite, okay, gabbro, then pegmatite. Okay, after pegmatite, here you will get diorite. Okay, hypabyssal dolerite. Then volcanic rocks. This is extrusive. Okay, this is extrusive. This is intrusive. So this volcanic here you will find a basalt. Here you will find basalt. Then rhyolite. Then andesite. Then pumice. Okay. These are extrusive rocks. Extrusive rocks. These are intrusive rocks. These are intrusive rocks. Then metamorphic means you have to apply high temperature, high pressure. Then it will recrystallization. It will go. What is the process? It will go under recrystallization. And examples you remember. Here, what examples you can remember is this sandstone gets converted into quartzite. Okay. Sandstone. Okay. Then shale is becoming schist, or it is becoming slate. Limestone dolomite, it is becoming marble. Limestone, that one. And then igneous, you take granite for example, it is becoming gneiss. Gneiss, quartzite, schist, shale, marble, gneiss. Okay, these are the things you can remember. So this is an important topic. So thank you for your patient listening.